Good morning, Internet fans. Ryan Perry, Simple Biz Support. Today is March 30th. A quarter of the year, 2016, is gone. It's amazing how fast time flies. Since it is Wednesday, this means it's Social Media Wednesday. Therefore, I have Sarah Giametti with Privaro Marketing. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing great. The sun is out here in Roner Park. I'm not sure about out in the hood or out in the woods.
Yeah, I'm out in the vineyards, not the woods. Come on now.
All right.
No, it's pretty gray and cloudy. I still have the ocean gray out here.
Yeah.
I see a hint of blue though.
All right. Today, since it is Social Media Wednesday, we're going to talk about local search. So this episode is really going to be focused on the business owners that have clientele, say within 20, 25 miles to their business, and they want to be found locally. On Google, it's called the 3-pack now. It used to be, I think they went up to 7, and they reduced it down to 3 now. And essentially, it's the map section. And why it's so important to be found in there is that Google is always tweaking their results page. They got rid of all the ads on the right-hand side. Typically, you're going to see up to 4 ads at the top. And then if there is local search, if you're a plumber, a dentist, an auto repair, optometrist, an attorney, general contractor, plumber, all those things, you only get 3 options there, and that's it. And Big Conversation is probably within a year. I know they've been testing it in the San Francisco area. Those are all probably going to be paid ads also. And that local search visibility is your first visibility after the ad. So it's really important. So the big question is, how do you get in there?
And Google's not going to tell you. So it's doing a research.
That's why we're here.
I know, right? and using a lot of different elements in order to help enhance help your chances of getting into it. And social media does play a part in that, in making sure that you're on platforms, but you're also, don't be on platforms you're not going to do anything with, because that's not going to help you. But the platforms that you are going to actually use, making sure your information is consistent across the board. That's that kind of social proof we've talked about in the past. And there are services you can use that are inexpensive, that helps make sure that your contact information at a minimum is consistent on all the different social media platforms, on the search engines, on the different company listings, to make sure, because if your company name, address, phone number, and website URL are the same everywhere, then Google knows, okay, this company kind of has their act together, and it'll help you. It's one of the components that will help you come up in that 3-pack.
It's really about creating credibility. I mean, there's so much spam, there's so much garbage out there. And I don't know if a lot of people know, but there are national databases that collect all this information, and Google is looking at all these different places. Google Plus, if you're not in Google Plus, if you're not in Google Plus, let's start there. That's step 1, because if you're not in their database, you will never show up in Google in that 3-pack or that local section. Websites like Yelp, Facebook, Twitter, even if you don't use a Twitter account, I always recommend people at least set it up, get your URL in there, do that, and then go ahead and leave it dormant. Don't promote it, obviously, but have that in the database. And then some of those local organizations, or not organizations, but companies that you talked about with the database, like Moz Local, White Spark, there's a few more out there that I can't think of, that will actually let you know. You can go to Moz Local, type in your business, and they'll let you know, look, are you in YP? Is the phone number match across all of it? And I forget, I think there's like 50 big databases that you want to be in. Now, unfortunately, if you sign up for Moz, they are going to charge you, but you fill out all your information, your phone number, your address, your details, and they will push that content out to the big databases so that your information is consistent across the board.
Right. Trying to do it manually. Yes, Moz Local is I think it's currently $84 a year, and it saves you hundreds of hours of time, because if you try to do it everywhere manually, it's going to take you forever. So this way you get to fill out the information one time. Moz will populate it across the board for you, and you're done. and you just kind of have to make sure that you maintain it. And if you move, change your phone number, you update it in Moz, and it updates it across the board. So let's see. Spelling Moz is M-O-Z.
And where's my, oh, here it is. I was just going to show this. I don't know how well this is going to show up. This I just did for a client. So this was prior to doing it. And then once we got them in the database, this is all their local search. So this is pictures, images. Essentially, they were not showing up on Google on the 3-pack before. Once they actually got in, this is the results after showing up on the 3-pack. So this is brand new. I just got this yesterday, so I just thought of it. I haven't had a chance to talk to the client to see what the direct result is for their business, but just getting in that database and getting all your information squared away can make a huge change in your visibility. And one of the things I let people know is that, you know, if you were able to get 1 or 2, even if it's just 1 or 2 new referrals a week, is it worth that $80 or even $100 to spend the time and the money to just do it right? And unfortunately, the reality is the days of free SEO and free traffic are really going by the wayside. So we really need to do this. Additionally, besides doing that, I think we beat up. You're going to say something.
Well, I was going to say, like, the 1 to 2 referrals, one of the trainings that both you and I do through the Referral Institute, they have the pipeline strategies, figure out your closing ratio so that you know how many referrals do you need in order to make money. But really it's $84 a year. So that's what, a few dollars a month averaged out. So it's something that should be easily addable. That's not even a word. Easily added to your marketing budget in order to increase your social results so that you get exposure to, or your local results, so you get exposure to people in your community and your potential customers. So it's definitely something to look into. And if you don't know how many referrals you need, whether from other people, from online, to, you know, you've got look back at your data and see what your closing ratio is and kind of do that math, because that'll help you figure out as you're analyzing all of everything you're doing to see what is and isn't working.
Right. Okay, perfect. So the first step is make sure all your directory listings are succinct. Easiest way to do that, Moz Local, White Spark. There's a gazillion other websites that are more than happy to take your money to do this. But let's dig a little bit deeper in some more competitive markets. Maybe you're in Los Angeles, New York. Businesses are already there. They already have their website or all their data consistent across all the different agencies. What do we need to do now to help get us in that 3-pack?
So making sure your profiles have relevant keywords in them, because profiles are indexed by Google. Some of the Twitter is fully indexed by Google. Google has access to what they call the Twitter fire hose, the several thousand tweets per second. Google has direct access to it versus having to go onto Twitter and index it because it might crash Twitter that way. So if you are going to utilize Twitter, utilize it with keyword phrases. So, and making sure that your local city, the geographic is connected to that. So you're coming up in local search. Videos, obviously, I mean, Ryan's a huge YouTube video proponent. It's a big part of his business and mine through his. But YouTube gets indexed almost instantly because Google uses it. And you can, again, having geo-targeting in that will improve you coming up in local search results. So you can kind of offset some of your bigger competition or the heavier competition, because Google wants to give current, recent, relevant results. And social media, it happens so fast and it happens so live. I mean, I know a lot of it's scheduled out these days, but it's current, relevant, and so a lot of the times it'll outrank traditional websites.
Yeah, and we've actually tested the YouTube theory because I'm a huge YouTube fan. I use video as my primary marketing tool. And we were able to get a video ranked on the first page of Google in under 10 minutes. Now, that's geo-targeting, so a specific city for a specific keyword. But that is something, we did a Google search. All right, looked at it. There's no videos in there. Made a quick video about X, Y, Z in Rohnert Park as an example. and kind of checked up every couple of minutes. And I think it was the fastest was like 7 or 9 minutes.
I think it was 7 minutes was the fastest.
Yeah, it was 7 minutes. Within 7 minutes on the first page of Google was this video. And there's a number of studies out there that'll tell you people are like 50% more likely, I forget what the exact number is, to click on a video than a website anyhow.
Well, and a lot of it is we're visual people. And so, and don't get me wrong, I'm a gigantic reader. I consume books like you wouldn't believe, but sometimes the visual, especially if you're trying to learn something, the visual sinks in better than an article. And if they see a video that's 2 minutes, they go, oh, okay, it's only 2 minutes. I can do 2 minutes of my life. Whereas looking at a blog article, they can't quite quantify how long it will take them to read it if it's longer than a couple paragraphs. So there's that element as well, because we are so instantaneous and fast, and it's not always a great thing, but we are always in a hurry. We want things as quick as possible. So the video is really powerful in conveying you as a person, as a company you come across, so you can know, like, and trust them and feel like you can connect with them. But it's also, they can quite right off the bat say, okay, it's 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes. I can do this.
Yeah. And Kay, who's Kay here? I'm sorry. I got to figure out this. Kenneth mentioned 2 minutes of video, 400 words is probably the max. There's actually a lot of people right now, Kenneth, that are going to long format. They're actually going 9 to 15 to even a half hour long. And what it really is that it's really about the quality of the content, not the quantity of the content. So if the value's there, sure, you can nail a 2-minute video and you're done. However, if you're really going to go deep into a subject and it's relevant to the people watching or listening, then you can actually go much longer. But it really depends on your subject matter, who your target audience is, and what the relevancy is. So I try and stay away from that whole 2 to 3 minute thing. However, I do tell my clients that do video blogging to start out, 2 to 3 minutes is typically that sweet spot. And then once you figure your voice out on video, then you can go ahead and expand from there.
Do everything, like you do end up in longer ones. I just wouldn't, make sure you don't do everything too long.
Right, exactly. And I don't want to get sidetracked on the video.
But YouTube is it still is a social channel. It's got comments, follow people, and it's almost instantly indexed by Google. So that's one of the social channels. Facebook is, the public side is indexable, especially your profile. So you want to make sure that the short and long descriptions in your Facebook profile are well written out with but not keyword stuffed, because Google will figure that out. They have to be sentences that make sense to a normal person, but you can have the keywords and the geo-targeting in there, but also the content you're putting out, using it on a regular consistent basis, having the post that you're putting out on social profiles, having the keywords in it, especially Pinterest and Twitter, because the individual posts are definitely indexed by Google. Facebook's kind of a gray area. Like I said, they now have access to the Facebook app because of so many mobile users, and the public pages technically are, but they're not. It's kind of a gray area. They kind of are, and they kind of aren't indexed. But I definitely know for sure Facebook and Pinterest are indexed, and so you can put the keyword phrase with your location in the content of the post and in order to further help your local SEO search.
Yeah, and then the last thing I want to touch on before 10 o'clock hits is getting reviews. Reviews are really going to help. May it be on Facebook, may it be on Yelp, on Google+, all those different platforms. The more reviews that you have, it just adds to the credibility. And a lot of time, especially if it's Google+, if you're trying to get in that 3-pack and you have a lot of Google+ reviews, and those are hard to get because people don't necessarily have a G+ account. They don't want to have to log in. If you have a system in place, and we have a friend who has a system in place that works really, really well. That's how I was able to get this for a client. Reviews are very, very important, especially in competitive market spaces such as Los Angeles, New York, where you've got a lot of people competing for just 3 positions. That's not a lot of real estate on Google.
Right. And there are other ways. If you don't, like the friend we've got who's got a system in place, if you're going to try to do it yourself, ask your customers at the end of the sale, if you have a way to email them, say, hey, if you liked our service, I would love a review, and give them the links to the primary ones are Yelp and Google Plus. Yelp is a love-hate relationship. Don't ever pay for their advertising, but you need to be on it. But do give them the link of the two and just leave it open to them. Make it as easy as possible for them to give you a review. And if they do it, great. If they don't, oh well, and just keep trying as you have more customers and more sales, and eventually grow that, because it's also social proof. How many times have you gone to either Google or Yelp and you pick somebody because they had 4 or 5-star reviews?
Right. All right. Perfect. It is 10 o'clock. That is the end of this broadcast. We will be hanging out doing a Q&A session. But as far as the recorded episode, that's it. I want to thank everybody for all the questions. We will be back here next week, same computer, same time, same place, with another episode of Social Media Marketing, really helping you, the small business owners, create more visibility online. Sarah, as always, I appreciate your time and energy.
It's always a pleasure, Ryan.
All right. We'll see you all next week. Hope you have a great week. Take care.